Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we are going to study force, momentum and the second law of motion. Here we are starting with momentum. So first of all, consider there are two balls, one is football and another is cricket ball. These two balls are coming with same velocity and we have to stop them. And as usual, the football will be larger in mass and the cricket ball will be smaller in mass. So stop the football, we have to apply larger force as compared to the cricket ball. Now let's consider another example in which two bodies having same mass are coming with different velocities. One having more velocity and another having less velocity. And we have to stop both of them. To stop the body having larger velocity, we have to apply larger force. And to stop the body having less velocity, we have to apply less force. So from where we can conclude that motion is dependent on two factors, which are mass and velocity. So from where comes another quantity, which is momentum, and the momentum is defined as the product of mass and velocity. And one thing you have to keep in mind is momentum is a vector quantity and its direction is same as the direction of velocity, and it should be clear that velocity is also a vector quantity. We denote momentum with P, and now let's consider unit of mass, which is kilogram, and that of velocity is meter per second. As momentum is product of mass and velocity, so unit of momentum will be kilogram meter per second. And every moving body has momentum. The momentum of a body will be zero only if its velocity is zero. And as we know that every body have mass, so mass cannot be zero. So momentum will be zero only if the velocity of a body is zero or the body at rest. So this is the second law of motion, or the Newton's second law. So the statement of this law is the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied on it. And just now we studied that momentum is the product of mass and velocity. So the change in momentum will be final momentum minus initial momentum. So the final momentum will be m into v, where v is the final velocity, and initial momentum m into u, where u is the initial velocity, upon t. In the next step we are taking m common, so it will become m into v minus u upon t. And if you remember, the first equation of motion is v is equals to u plus at. So from here v minus u upon t will be a. So we can write in the next step f is directly proportional to m into a. Here f is directly proportional to m into a, and as here we have proportionality, and to replace proportionality with equal sign we have to place a proportionality constant here. So f is equals to k into m into a, where k is a proportionality constant, and in standard terms the value of k becomes 1. So finally the equation of second law will become f is equals to m into a. From here we are getting the formula for force, which is mass into acceleration. So from here we can derive the formula for acceleration as well, which will become acceleration is equals to force upon mass. One more thing which we can derive from here is the force applied on a body will be directly proportional to its acceleration, and the mass of a body will be inversely proportional to its acceleration, which means heavier the mass, lesser will be its acceleration. So now let's consider the unit of force. As this law was given by Newton, so the unit of force is Newton, and we know that force is the product of mass and acceleration. Now let's define 1 Newton. So the 1 Newton will be the amount of force which is required to stop the body of 1 kilogram which is moving with the acceleration of 1 meter per second square. From here we can understand that unit of force is basically kilogram meter per second square, and 1 Newton is 1 kilogram into 1 meter per second square. Apart from Newton, there is another unit of force which is dyne, and 1 Newton is equals to 10 dynes. Now, let's consider some applications of second law of motion. You might have seen in cricket matches that whenever a bowler catches a ball, he pulls his hand backward. And we know that every moving body possesses some momentum. And let's suppose the bowler is stopping the ball at its actual position. If he has done so, he have caught a serious injury in his hand. And to avoid that injury, the bowler pulls his hand backward. Let's elaborate this. There is a thing called conservation of momentum, which we will cover in the later chapters. But for now, let's understand. If the ball stops at its actual position, its velocity will become 0 in a very less time, and the momentum will reduce to 0. As the momentum would become 0, all the forces will be transferred to the hands of bowler in a very less time. That will cause a very serious injury in the hands of bowler. To avoid this, he pulls his hand backward so that time increases in the reduction of velocity, so the momentum takes some time to reduce itself to 0, and this is how the bowler gets a very few injuries sometimes. Apart from this example, there are several other examples of second law of motion, like the sports in which the sportsman has to be thrown on the ground, like jumping or the boxing or wrestling, etc. There the floor is filled with soft dust, so that when the sports person falls on that, he would not catch any injury at all. And the same principle is applicable there also. The momentum comes to 0, and if dust is there, momentum takes some time to reduce itself to 0. In this video, we came to know about force, second law of motion or the Newton's second law, and momentum, relation between force and momentum, and we derived some formulas. So that's it for this video. We will cover rest of the part in the later chapters. So if you like the video, don't forget to press the like button. Also subscribe the channel for more such videos, and thanks for watching. Stay connected.